seems the Kuro bot's out there saying that our game is trash because Miyabi didn't sub a 2-minute time in Critical Node 7.
Really? Sounds like to me some idiot just doesn't know how to read.
What's up, proxies? I'm FOXSOL, and welcome to another video on the channel. Hope you enjoy. Alrighty, buddy old pal, Proxy my man, I want to have another topic of conversation with you. A topic of conversation that kind of goes with the last video that I posted, which was about toxic positivity. A subject matter that I have already touched base on with my last live stream, and that is about the weaponization of information, or in other terminology, weaponizing gacha game against gacha game. And you see, I do believe that there is no one community that's innocent from this. It doesn't matter what game we're talking about. Each of these communities have these types of personalities buried within them very, very deeply. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and address this to the whole mass majority of the entire gacha community and say that we need to have accountability. Because I mean, come on, bro. We all seen it, I am sure. The different vocal groups in these communities that find different source information and then takes this information at face value without doing any extensive or even proper research, and bam! They use it as ammunition and a gun to attack another community or game in space. A primary example of this would be from Zenless Zone 0. Here's a perspective for you. When it comes to being attacked by taking information and such, one of the most recent topics that has come up is HP inflation. Especially now that new charts, new data mining numbers have been hashed out for the deadly assault, they're using this to ultimately attack the game, the developers, and even the community, to mainly create a narrative about pretty much why their game, or shall I say, their community is better. A strategy that is old as time, as old as the introduction of the banner reruns. And look, I'm not gonna lie to you, this type of behavior, let's just be honest, it's never going away. Okay? But with this video and what I want to try to present to you is that I'm hopeful that you who is viewing this video, who is watching this right now, may be a person that ultimately doesn't engage in such a, dare I say, snowman sunhole style behavior, but instead is more willing to do research, observe, and most importantly, ask questions from different sources before committing to an opinion that, for lack of better terms, is half-assed. See, the brass tacks of my thoughts here, and what I want to express to you is that this type of engagement that is used for nothing more than mainly a deflection from the real problems that we as normal players have in these communities. Like, for example, the HP inflation talks that's again rolling around. We have several people who is outside of the community, not even people who honestly play the game. And even for the ones that do quote unquote play the game, they do show that they have a clear bias to a game like ZZZ. They want to use this as a tool against the community itself and ultimately bolster their own games. Pretty much like acting like that middle schooler that we all hung out with, that bully that was saying, haha, my dad's better than your dad argument. It's also been clearly shown that some of these unique individuals apparently have grudges against companies such as Hoyoverse. And instead of just channeling their weaponized verbiage just to the company alone, they need to direct this weaponization to the game such as ZZZ, because the game is bad because Hoyo is bad, right? Ultimately saying, just because the game was developed and published by Hoyo, it must be a guilty by association, right? Just because you don't like the devs of Genshin Impact, oh, I'm not gonna like the devs of ZZZ. Turning back into the topic of HP inflation, I have stated this many times in the past couple of weeks with Zenless, that while you see HP inflation in the game, it's not something new since the game's launch. We have multiple different, graphs that's out there, multiple pieces of information showing this growth. But If you are a person that truly plays a game or has done any research, you can see that while HP inflation is happening, there has been countermeasures in place by the development team to ensure that even the older units that you have collected can clear the content. Maybe not easily, but they can still do it. A few mentions of different countermeasures that has been added would be buffs, enemy weaknesses, and even the character kits themselves. The development team of Zenless Zone Zero has ultimately given you, a player, the tools to combat this big, bad HP inflation monster that apparently is in your room trying to go raw and scare you. And apparently it does scare a couple of people, it seems like. Different personalities I have seen have come out most recently that's not even involved in the community has placed their entire thought process among the mass. They have made statements such as the HP inflation is a problem. You won't clear content. Welcome to HSR power creep. And so much other bullshit that in general just makes it obvious that the person is either A, not a person who even plays the game, but instead watches some creator or someone else with a massive egotistical attitude, or dare I say god complex, that barely knows mechanics and even how they work, give a take, and while they're playing, that is very much misleading and overall a complete lie just to hold a narrative against the game. Or B, probably one person that we all know, the know-it-all guy, the one that spent 5 minutes on a Reddit post, the one that is taking someone else's misinterpretation of information collected and treating it as gospel and thinks that they know it all. And again, the information they're talking about that they're spreading is just as trustworthy as Darkside Phil's taxes for the last 5 years. And the sad part is, there's lots of people that hear this, that listens to this, that believes this, that they're going to listen to a person that only spends 5 minutes on this and trashes the game. Because this person, ultimately, it is no longer about providing proper information. It's about a narrative. They need to feel better about themselves, which is why we have these echo chambers and these communities here in the gacha space. They have no interest in learning. They have no interest in asking questions. They're only here to find some pebble, basically, throw it at someone else's home because they're angry that you're having fun enjoying your game and not theirs. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what gacha game you play. Every single one of them has an issue. Some bigger than others. But like in the case of HP inflation, some people look at a graph and they are, ironically inflate the issue from being, the size of a hill to being a mountain-sized world-ending disaster that straight up goes to the simple phase of EOS is coming. You'll hear this all the time with this phrase, end of service next patch. And grant you, I do know, and I'm sure you do know, some of these people who do this, they're trolls. They're just rage baiting. But believe it or not, there is people who is in the gacha community that is not as knowledgeable in the industry and happen to believe this information because some people out there who are spreading this will bury the lies in a sandwich of truth and sell it. Again, if you're watching this video, I hope that you can recognize this behavior. I hope that you are someone who doesn't fall for the snowman, Sunho tier narratives, where you need to follow the Messiah or become a corpse. Games aren't enemies. Neither are the communities. But when people are weaponizing these topics, they become enemies. So, maybe next time when you see someone, yelling in the background, EOS incoming, over a single stat change, just ask them, did you actually play it? Or are you just parroting your favorite prophet of doom? Okay? Well, in any case, I think this video went on long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, guys, and I hope maybe you liked it, okay? And if so, consider subscribing to the channel, and like always, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, always keep it real, and I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time.
Who asked?